Venus Retrograde is already in motion. It started on March 1st, and now it's reaching its peak. And if you're not paying attention, this could be the moment your love life takes a turn you never saw coming. Right now, something is shifting beneath the surface. The way you feel about love, the way you see your partner, the trust you thought was unshakable, it's all being tested. You might already feel it. The tension, the doubts, the strange, unexplainable pull towards something or someone you thought you had left behind. And the worst part? Most people have no idea what's happening. They're walking straight into a storm, mistaking chaos for destiny. Because when Venus, the planet that controls love, attraction, and connection, starts moving in reverse, the rules of love change. The person you thought would be with you forever, they might start pulling away for no reason. The ex you swore was out of your life, they might suddenly reappear, saying all the things you always wanted to hear. And the relationship you thought was solid? It could start unraveling, piece by piece, leaving you questioning everything. But here's the most dangerous part. You might think this is fate. You might believe that the shifts happening right now are leading you towards something meant to be. And that's exactly why Venus retrograde is so powerful. It makes illusions feel real. But you don't have to fall for it. Because Venus retrograde doesn't destroy love. It exposes it. It shows you what's real, what's built to last, and what was never stable to begin with. In this video, I'm going to reveal the hidden traps of Venus retrograde, the mistakes that could cost you your relationship, the toxic cycles that will try to pull you in, and most importantly, how to protect yourself before the damage is permanent. Stay with me until the end, because I'm revealing the one relationship test that will make or break everything during this retrograde. And trust me, you need to hear this. Subscribe now, because what's coming next in this video is something you can't afford to ignore. Number 1. The return of the past. Don't fall for it. Right now, something strange is happening. You feel it, don't you? That sudden pull towards something or someone you thought you had moved on from. Memories are resurfacing. Old emotions you thought were buried are creeping back in. And just when you thought you had finally closed that chapter, here comes the past, knocking on your door like it never left. An ex who ghosted you might suddenly reappear, sending that late-night message, acting like nothing ever happened. A toxic relationship you swore you were done with might start looking tempting again, as if maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. And that one person who broke your heart, they might try to rekindle things just when you were finally starting to heal. But here's the trap. Venus retrograde warps your emotions. It makes you nostalgic for something that wasn't even good for you. It blurs the lines between longing and love, between unfinished business and a second chance. And that's where most people fall. They'll believe the universe is giving them a sign. They'll convince themselves that this time things will change. They'll run right back to what hurt them, only to realize, too late, that it was a mistake. Because the truth is that X hasn't changed. That situation ended for a reason. And that old love story you're romanticizing, it wasn't the fairy tale your mind is telling you it was. But you don't have to fall for it. Before you let Venus retrograde pull you back into a cycle you already escaped, Ask yourself, are they really different now? Or are you just lonely? Are you moving forward? Or are you just running in circles? If they didn't fight for you before, why are they showing up now? Stay with me, because next we're talking about the relationship test that's about to expose everything. And trust me, you need to hear this. Number 2, the relationship test that will break most couples. Something is about to shake your relationship, and if you're not ready for it, it could destroy everything. You might already feel the tension, a shift in your connection, a lingering doubt that wasn't there before. It's subtle at first, a strange distance, a conversation that suddenly turns cold, an argument that starts over something small, but spirals into something much bigger. And before you know it, the cracks in your relationship are no longer invisible. They're everywhere. Conflicts that were buried are about to resurface. The little issues you ignored, the ones you swept under the rug, will demand to be dealt with. Secrets that were hidden, either yours or your partner's, will come out, whether you're ready for them or not. And the truth about your connection, it's about to be exposed. But here's what you need to understand. Venus retrograde doesn't break strong relationships. It breaks the ones that were already built on shaky ground. If your relationship is built on avoidance, if you've been ignoring red flags, if there's been a silent disconnect neither of you wanted to address, this retrograde will bring everything to the surface. And most couples, they won't survive it. They'll fight, they'll break up, and they'll blame Venus retrograde. But the truth is, this energy isn't causing problems, it's revealing them. If your partner is suddenly distant, were they ever truly present? If trust is breaking, was it ever solid to begin with? If things fall apart, were they really meant to last? This is your wake-up call. Venus retrograde isn't here to ruin your love life. It's here to show you the truth. Stay with me, because next we're talking about the hidden desires that could pull you into a love disaster and how to stop them. Number 3, the temptation that could ruin everything. Right now, your heart is not thinking clearly. You might feel like it is. You might believe that what you're feeling is real, that your instincts are guiding you towards something new, something thrilling, something meant to be. But I need you to hear this. This is not intuition. This is not destiny. This is Venus retrograde, twisting your emotions, making you see illusions instead of truth. And if you're not careful, you could make a mistake that will cost you everything. You might suddenly crave attention from the wrong person, someone who was never meant to be part of your story. You might feel a pull toward forbidden love, toward someone who is unavailable, someone who was never yours to begin with. And if you're in a relationship, you might start feeling restless, bored, as if something is missing. You might convince yourself that you need more, that you deserve more, that there's something better waiting for you out there. And the worst part, it will feel real. That sudden attraction, that urge to test your partner, that impulse to start an argument just to see how much they care, it will all seem justified in the moment. It will feel like truth, like something you have to act on right now before the opportunity slips away. But it's a lie. This is how Venus retrograde works. It manipulates your desires. It takes your insecurities, your fears, your unhealed wounds, and it distorts them into urgency, into temptation, into reckless decisions that you can't take back. And most people, they'll fall for it. They'll chase the thrill of new attraction. They'll throw away a good relationship because of a fleeting emotion. They'll walk away from stability, from real love, because they're convinced something more exciting is out there, waiting for them. And when Venus goes direct, they'll wake up to a nightmare. The person who seemed so irresistible, suddenly they're not that special. The connection that felt electric, turns out it was just a temporary high, an escape from reality. And the relationship they abandoned? It's gone, and they can't get it back. This is the trap, and right now, you're standing on the edge of it, but you don't have to fall. If you're feeling tempted, pause. Do not act on impulse. Do not confuse attraction with fate. Do not let a moment of excitement cost you something that took years to build. If you're questioning your relationship, wait. Do not make a decision in the heat of the moment. Right now, Venus is clouding your judgment, making small problems feel massive, making you believe the grass is greener somewhere else. If something feels urgent, don't move. Let the energy settle. Let the illusions fade. Because once this retrograde ends, you'll see things for what they really are. And by then, it might be too late to undo what you've done. Don't be one of the people who wake up with regret. Don't be the person who realizes, too late, that they destroyed something real for something that was never meant to last. Stay with me, because next, we're talking about the final warning, the moment when everything shifts. And trust me, you need to be ready. Number 4. The love bomb that's about to explode. Right now, emotions are unstable. Venus retrograde is stirring unpredictable energy in relationships, and for many people, things are about to blow up, fast and unexpectedly. If you're in a relationship, you might notice tiny arguments turning into massive fights. Little misunderstandings suddenly feel huge. Something that wouldn't normally bother you, it might feel unbearable. If you're single, you might be falling too fast for someone new, someone who seems perfect, intoxicating, almost too good to be true. And guess what? They probably are. Because right now, Venus retrograde is amplifying emotions, making you react impulsively, making you blind to reality. And that's where most people destroy their own love lives. They will overreact, say things they can't take back, push people away just to test their love. Others will cling too hard, trying to force something that isn't meant to last. And when the dust settles, they'll be left wondering how they lost everything so fast. This is a ticking time bomb. And if you don't defuse it now, it will explode. So before you say something in anger, before you make a decision you can't undo, stop. Right now, Venus retrograde is manipulating your emotions. And if you don't control them, they will control you. Stay with me, because next, we're talking about the trust crisis that will expose everything you thought was secure. Number 5. The trust crisis that will break you. Someone is hiding something, and Venus retrograde is about to expose it. Right now, secrets are rising to the surface. Things that were hidden, lies, betrayals, manipulation, are about to come out. If you've been ignoring red flags, if you've been feeling that something is off but brushing it aside, this is your moment of truth. If you're in a relationship, watch closely. Are they acting differently, pulling away, getting defensive? You might be about to uncover something you weren't prepared for. If you're single, be careful who you trust. Someone new might seem like the perfect partner, but Venus Retrograde is famous for attracting people who are wearing masks. Someone might be pretending to be exactly what you want, until you realize, too late, that they were never real to begin with. Most people, they won't see it coming. They'll believe the lies. They'll ignore their intuition. They'll find out too late that the person they trusted was never on their side. But you have a choice. Before you trust someone blindly, before you ignore that uneasy feeling in your gut, pause, because once this retrograde ends, the truth will be undeniable. And if you don't prepare now, you'll be the one left picking up the pieces. Stay with me, because next, we're reaching the final warning, the tipping point where everything shifts, and only the ones who see it coming will survive it. Number 6. March 10th, the day. Everything changes. There's no more time to prepare, no more time to ignore the warning signs, no more time to pretend everything is fine. March 10th is the breaking point, the peak of Venus retrograde, the moment where everything shifts, whether you're ready or not. This is the final test, the last, most intense surge of retrograde energy. And make no mistake, this energy is coming for everyone. No relationship, no connection, no emotion is safe from the force that's about to hit. If there are secrets in your relationship, they're about to come out. Lies will be exposed, betrayals will be revealed, and anything that was built on deception, it will crumble. If there's tension between you and your partner, it's about to explode. The arguments that have been bubbling under the surface will break through in ways you didn't expect. Small issues will turn into massive conflicts. And before you know it, some relationships will not survive the pressure. If you've been stuck in the past, confused about an ex, or waiting for clarity, this is the moment of truth. Either you'll realize once and for all that they were never meant for you, or you'll make the mistake of letting them back in, only to regret it when the retrograde ends. And if you're single, be careful. The person you're drawn to right now might not be who they seem. Venus Retrograde is famous for creating illusions, the kind that make you fall for someone fast, only to realize later that they were never real. For some people, this will be a day of endings. The relationship they thought was unshakable will break. The person they trusted will show their true colors. The love story they thought was meant to last, it will end in heartbreak. For others, this will be a day of transformation. If your relationship is real, if it's built on truth, trust, and mutual respect, this retrograde will make it stronger. It will strip away insecurities, clear away doubts, and show you exactly who is truly meant for you. But for most people, this will be the day they make their biggest mistake. They'll act on impulse, say something they can't take back, walk away from someone who truly loved them, or fall for a lie disguised as fate. And when Venus goes direct, they'll wake up and realize the damage is already done. So what should you do on March 10th? First, don't make impulsive decisions. Whatever you're feeling right now, whatever seems urgent, wait. Retrograde energy distorts your emotions. What feels like the right choice today might be the biggest regret of your life tomorrow. Second, don't fall for the past. If an ex shows up, if an old love story tempts you, ask yourself why they're suddenly here. Is it real? Or is it just Venus retrograde pulling you into a cycle you already escaped? And most importantly, pay attention to the truth, because once Venus goes direct, once this energy clears, the illusion will be gone. And the choices you make now, they will determine your future. So ask yourself, are you ready for what's coming next? And here's the final truth. Venus retrograde isn't here to destroy you, but it will expose everything. What happens next depends on the choices you make right now. Don't fall for illusions. Stay grounded. Stay aware. And if you're ready for what's coming next, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below.